Hey guys, it's me Maya, and tonight we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary, and I'm also engaged. We're engaged.
Yes, we are.
Yay! So we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary and our engagement dinner.
Right.
And
Together.
yes, in Buglas Isla, there is another restaurant upstairs of Buglas Isla. It's called La Mensa, and it is an Italian restaurant. Did you like the food?
Very good.
Yes,
Very
it was
good.
so
Yeah.
good. I like the cheese fonda.
Cheese fondue. The five
The
cheese fondue.
The cheese
Yeah.
fondue. It was really good. That's my favorite. And the apple pie was so good.
Apple crisp with vanilla gelato.
Oh yes. Today I have Gio here, and and I'm gonna ask him questions about how did he know that he found the one.
Okay.
Because today when we are talking earlier, we were talking about our relationship, and he told me that I'm his first Filipina that he dated for a year. He told me also that most of the Filipina that he dated is just 3 months or less, because he already knows that at the beginning that it's not the one. So how would you know that the girl is the one? How did you finally say, oh, this is the girl?
Well, you know what they say, you can almost tell almost immediately.
The guy, you can already tell.
Not immediately, but you go through like a small period that I call the honeymoon phase. Like I'd say it's around 90 days. And then after that is when you're like, okay, is this person, are they annoying me? Can we carry on a good conversation? Do we like the same things? You know, things like that. I think you start to really know after 90 days. And so for us, almost from the beginning, like we could have a good conversation. Like she understands my humor, I understand her humor. We just kind of mesh that way. And I guess a lot that I dated, most people speak English here, but not everyone has the same proficiency level.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it even though you might meet a girl who can carry on a conversation, it's just she doesn't understand like the jokes or things like that. So, and then later on you find out you don't like to do the same things, or you don't have the same goals, and it's just.
My own experience, I don't date guys that I don't feel like any chemistry at the beginning.
Right.
Like you don't match, like this feeling of not matching. So guys would require more good conversation, good looking, I guess, of course, right? Because first impression is always what you see.
Guys are more physical. Anybody who says differently is not telling the truth, because guys are, and after that, then of course there's more. There's the personality and all that. Did you have like a honeymoon phase, like everything is really good, and then at a certain point it's just like, okay, you start to get to know the real person?
I have that, but once I like the person, once I have interest with the person, I am willing to accept and overcome everything or anything. Everyone has flaws. Nobody is perfect. I always prepared myself for the bad days, it's not always good day, and I know people will say something not nice, do something bad. And I always prepare myself to understand that you have flaws, and I'm willing to accept that. But it has limitations also.
Right.
How about you?
Like I think in the beginning, guys maybe are less tolerable of that. They're more sensitive to
At
it.
the beginning?
at the beginning, like, you know, like if you're within the first month and your girl has just a fall out, bad, horrible day, and you have an argument, you really start, at least me, really start to think, oh my God, that's what it's like now at only 1 month. What is it going to be like after a couple years of being together? But for me personally, after I got past a certain point, I said, okay, this is the girl, you know, I love, and good days and bad days, you know, I'm committed, you know. But within the first few months, that's kind of the time period where I'm like, eh.
You told me before that when you hit 50, that was the time you realized that you wanted something serious. You wanted a commitment. What dawned you?
I don't know. I think I was actually. I think I was in Davao, or no, I was in Cebu. I remember just sitting around, and I had just turned 50, and I remember seeing a bunch of guys, maybe older than me, maybe they were 60, and still kind of like catcalling girls as they walked by. They were sitting at a coffee shop, and they were sitting at a few tables away, and I was like, do I really want to be 60 and still like, you know, whistling at girls and like, hey, you know, I didn't want that. And I don't think I wanted. I gave it a shot, marriage, much earlier in my life, and it didn't work out. So I went through a period of, okay, I want to be single. But then I turned 50, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm ready to settle down, you know. So, but it took a little while. But just looking at the guys, like, I don't want to say it looked pitiful, but I mean, if you're 60 and you want to be single, you know, it's whatever makes you happy. But for me, I just couldn't see myself sitting there still dating and
getting to know girls every month.
Yeah, because for me, this is the best part. We know each other. We can go home, and she might say, hey, you know, are you hungry? And then you already know what kind of food I like. After that, we may want to go watch a movie, and I could give Maya the remote, and she's going to pick out something that I have an interest in too, because we already kind of know each other.
Yeah.
We know what we like to do on a weekend, and you know, we're past that whole point of like I call it the job interview stage, where you're both presenting your best side to each other, like a job interview.
Yeah. Some people don't want to be in a relationship, to be with someone, and they just want to spend their life alone.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own.
And for me, it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad to think that someone would like to be alone for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like I don't find it joyful to be alone.
Yeah, for me, it's comforting knowing that if something happens, I can trust Maya, and Maya's there to help and take care of me, and vice versa, you know.
2 years ago, I already have this, you know, worry that because I was all alone, I'm single, and I have a kid, and I'm not close with my family. I have friends, but they have their own life too. And I already have this crippling feeling that what if something happens to me?
Right.
Or what if I travel and nobody knows where I am, because nobody really contacts me to, you know, check out on me. Nobody knows. You know, I'm always alone, and that scares me. Like, what if something happens to you and nobody can find you, and nobody bothers to find you because they know that you're always alone.
They only find you when the bad odor comes from next door, the decomposing body.
Yeah. And it's scary.
And I've known a lot of foreigners here that have died, you know, alone, and they didn't have anybody to, you know, perhaps if they had somebody, maybe they could have helped them get to the hospital or whatever, but, you know, it didn't happen.
And it's a really, really good feeling to wake up every morning and make coffee, and, you know, you have someone to drink coffee with, chica, talk with, and make plans for the day. And
absolutely.
It's really a good feeling. It makes me excited to wake up every morning just to have coffee with you, to ask you about your sleep. What's
good.
latest update, like latest chika chika. I really enjoy that. So I enjoy being in a relationship, and I don't want to be single
Yeah.
ever.
Well, no, we don't have to.
Yes, because I'm engaged. We are engaged. So if you are someone that is still looking for that one, never give up. And if you need help, I have Christian Filipina, Pina Love. In the description down below, Christian Filipina is a good dating site because they always screen every Filipina, every foreigners that joins this dating site. And also Pina Love. Pina Love has over 500 signups every day. So check it out in my description down below. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!